Alright, today I'm going to go over my entire boot collection. I get a lot of questions about boot qualities and sorts of things like that. So hopefully by the end of this video I'll answer all your questions. We got a lot of boots to go over. They're all amazing. They're all beautiful. I love absolutely every one of my boots. One of the main questions I get is, why I leave the tags on my boots. And my answer was because I have so many boots that I'm not going to wear all of them. And, later down the road, my grandkids or my kids, when they get old enough to wear them, hopefully they have the same boot size as me. But somebody will get them later down the road and they'll appreciate the quality that they're in, the condition that they're in. Because I take care of all my boots. I condition all of them. I've gotten a little lazier about it because some of the boots I have, I forget I own. So let's just jump right into it. We'll go over all these boots and I'll try to kind of tell the story and the quality of the skin and some of the things that I love about the boot or that I don't like about the boot. So we'll start with this one. So these are the Zanes. This is a boot by Tecovas. It's an ostrich skin. It's a full quill ostrich. It's a very beautiful boot because it's absolutely full. It's kind of hard to find ostrich skins that are that spaced out and that nice. So yeah, this is an ostrich skin. It's a very soft and durable skin. It's probably one of my favorite skins out there on the market. This one right here is my favorite boot to kind of cruise around in because it has, the zippers. A lot of people hate that. This is my most hated boot that I own. But this thing is insanely comfortable. I mean, the skin up here is just incredibly soft. The zippers make it really easy to get out of. So I've worn a lot of this boot. I've worn holes in this boot. I wouldn't say it's the most durable for like work riding or anything like that, but I've done a lot with this boot and a lot of just walking around, dancing and stuff like that. This is definitely my most comfortable when it comes to that kind of stuff. So the Tecovas Zanes, a lot of people ask me like what boots I work in. These right here are the tin haul regular leather skin, but I mean you're paying for like the hand tooling and stuff like that. But these boots have like a nylon outsole. They're terrible to dance in. They're not going to slide across the dance floor, but they're really grippy. You can get some grip on like concrete. You're going to slide on grass and stuff like this, but these are really good in the saddle and mixing the saddle with kind of groundwork and stuff like that. So this is a boot that I ride. I actually put my spurs on and everything, but I've actually been hung up in the saddle on this. You will get hung up in the saddle with square-toed boots ever so often. You just want to hope that you're not on a rank horse whenever that happens. So be wary of that if you're going to ride in like wide square-toe boots. And tin hauls are a very wide square toe. So these I've only worn like a couple times. These are out because I lost the box. My dog tore it up. These are, I can't remember the exact name of them, but they're a black cayman skin by Roughout boots. It's a traditional style cowboy boot. The traditional cowboy boot is not actually what the original cowboy boot was based off of. It's just kind of like what became iconic due to like television and stuff like that. That sharp heel, it's kind of like curved at the back. It's kind of arched, narrow, like J-toe, or a pointed toe is what people call it. But it's got a taller shaft most of the times, like I think it's like a 14-inch shaft or something like that. That sounded weird. But yeah, so I haven't really worn these that much, but this is a great looking black cayman skin. It's very comfortable. Any boot by Roughout boots is a very comfortable boot straight out of the box. These are Cody James. I got these at Boot Barn. Some girl worked there and she gave me a deal on them, so I couldn't really like pass it up because it was like $150 for an exotic skin. You pay that for regular leather, so I mean that goes to say that these boots are very affordable. They're very cheap, and they're not the best boot. I don't think they're the most durable, but if I wanted to throw on like a cheap exotic skin and kind of like work in them and things, this would be the one I go to, and that's kind of what I do with it. I just kind of throw it on to kind of casually get around. And I'm not afraid to throw these on when I get in the saddle or anything like that. But like I said, it's not the most durable skin. Snake skin is not a very durable skin. It is very, it's very scaly, and the scales will lift up over time, and they'll kind of wear off, and eventually this boot will just be kind of colors. So if you want a durable skin, snake skin's not it. But if you want a cheap exotic, like something that looks fancy, get you a snake skin because it's very affordable, very cheap. So these right here, this is my first exotic skin boot. This is an ostrich as well. You can see that it's a full quill, but it's not as full as those other Tacovas that I showed you. Which is, like I said before, it's like how spaced out the bird is between the feather pluckings or whatever. But this boot is over 12 years old. It's lasted me a long time. This is my favorite boot. I ride in this boot all the time. Doesn't look like it because I keep them conditioned. This is like the only boot I really have to take care of because I ride it so much and I wear it so much. But just look at these things, man. They're absolutely amazing. They're actually absolutely classic. I've had these things for a long time. My grandmother bought me these boots. So this is definitely my favorite boot and one that's not going anywhere. I mean, like, bury me in these. These are Ariat. They're like based off of the Justin old, like, I think they were called like Pacer lace-ups or something like that. If you've ever seen like a classic cowboy boot, like the original style like cowboy boot with the tassels and lace-ups. The only difference between these and those is the outsole is rubber. I wish it was a leather outsole. But these are actually really good for work, and I mean, I think it prevents like the weather getting in a lot easier. So I wear these a lot too. I haven't really done any work in them yet, but I intend to do a little bit of riding and working in these. So all these are going to be completely random. They're all absolutely amazing. Some of them I've never worn. But yeah, let's look at these things. All right, so this is another snakeskin that I've actually only worn once for a photo shoot. It's got the tags on it and everything. But yeah, Dan Post gave me these. It looks so much better than those other snakeskins, but same thing applies. Snakeskin's not that durable, but absolutely beautiful boot. Yeah, I highly recommend these if you want just a boot that looks good. But I wouldn't go beating on them. They're not going to last that long. So these are a Tacova boot. They are a giant gator, flat like roper style boot, which is like a shorter shaft boot. So it makes it really comfortable, and that flat heel makes it really easy to walk on. So a giant gator is one of your most expensive skins. It doesn't matter any boot you look at. If you're looking at a giant gator with the scales like this size, it's going to be a pretty expensive boot. These boots went for like $725, I'm going to say is what it was. And I absolutely love these. This is probably one of my favorites. I put it in my top 10 for sure. I don't wear them that much anymore. I want to get them repolished and conditioned. Most people wouldn't wear a boot that costs as much as often as I do, but yeah, so that's another one that I absolutely love. I don't know what these are. Oh, these are the ones that Dan Post just gave me. So they made these boots specifically for me, so to speak. So they're actually going to release them, but when I went to the warehouse and saw them, I was like, dude, I actually really like those. And they were like, well, we don't have them in any sizes yet, but when we make our first batch, we'll make them in your size. That way you can have them. So I'm the first person to actually own these boots and have them in my house. The only other people who can order these are actual stores right now. Now, those are just Dan Post Aztec boots. They're a leather, like, woven boot. That's a real weave, by the way. Here's another Dan Post. Alright, same thing. I haven't worn these. I don't know where I'm going to put all these boxes. But these are Dan Post. I think this is going to be really popular coming into like 2023, 2024. It's like a snip toe for men. Because typically men don't wear a snip toe. This is more like a female style boot. I mean, some people do. Don't get me, like, I'm not saying if you wear snip toes it's female style, but typically you don't see men wearing a snip toe. It's either like a round work toe or a pointed toe or a square toe. So I'm interested to wear these off and see what kind of outfits I can put together with them. But it is a Dan Post woven leather boot. Here's the Ariat. It's like a really light colored ostrich. I don't even know what color to call that. Maybe like yellow almost. It's really cool. I've only worn them one time while I was in Vegas for NFR, and yeah, they're comfortable. I like them. But this is this is a limited edition Tacova. I don't know if you'll be able to get these anymore, but it is a shark skin boot. I want to say like sand shark. It's a very tough, durable skin. Like, I don't even think you could penetrate this thing. I mean, obviously you could, but like nothing is going to happen that actually penetrates this boot on accident. This is a terribly tough skin, and so it's hard to break in. It's not the most comfortable straight out of the box, but if you want something durable that you can beat on forever, that shark skin is going to be tough. Okay, so here's another area. I've also worn these one time in Vegas for NFR, I think. It is a cayman skin. It's a chocolate cayman skin, taller shaft boot, square toe, with that roper flat heel. It's a beautiful boot, but I don't see myself wearing it that much. I just have other square toe options, and I don't really like the taller shaft on a roper style boot. It's kind of uncomfortable, as bulky as they are. Alright, so these used to be one of my favorites, but then I ended up getting it in a different color. These are the Dillons in a pecan. It's a cayman skin. Cayman is it's like a gator, but not really. But it's a smaller gator. So yes, cayman skin, traditional style boot with the arched heel. Still a lower shaft than what you would see on some. Tecovas is just kind of known for basing their boots off of comfortability and kind of being able to wear it anywhere you go. I don't work or ride in these either, just pretty much for dancing for me. Okay, so these are the Ariat fraternities. They just gave me these boots around Christmas time. I absolutely love these. So these boots are really cool. They have like this this padding inside of them. It's like a foam, and it makes these things incredibly comfortable. This is one of the most comfortable boots I've ever worn. Even though it's got the taller shaft on it, it's great for protecting your legs when you're like in the stirrups and things like that. But it's got a large spur shelf on it too. So if you're talking about a boot that's kind of perfect for riding with that narrower square toe, it's still going to be very comfortable. You can mix the ground with the saddle on these and still be very comfortable and not worry about getting hung up. You know, this is really a perfect boot when it comes to riding, and it's affordable. So I highly recommend these. The Ariat fraternities. It's a Roughout skin. So these are those Dillons that I was talking about. Yeah, that I got in that other color. Now I absolutely love these. This is definitely in my top 10. And the reason why as well, it's a traditional style boot, but it's obviously like chocolate. But these things, when you put them on with a blue jean, it has like this purple kind of reflection that comes off of it, and it looks absolutely classic. So I love a traditional style boot, especially mixing it with some Wranglers. I would actually wear it with like the jeans I have on right now. I would actually wear it with this outfit, and that would be like one of my favorite looks right there, because once you put it on that blue jean, it just looks purple. It looks great. So this is a Roughout boot. It is a Roughout, but it's very smooth. It's almost like suede. I'm honestly genuinely curious if it's suede or Roughout, but very smooth Roughout is what we're calling it right now. And it is I don't even know what color you would call that. It just looks really sick. It looks really good with a blue jean as well. I've only worn these one time. I worn these out in Nashville one time. And the only reason that is because I forgot I had them. Oh, this is another Roughout boot. I absolutely love these. These are called the Deacon. It's a ostrich skin. I'll say it and I'll say it again. Ostrich skin is my favorite skin. It's just very soft. It's broken in straight out of the box just about. And they, you know, they're very durable as well. So you really can't beat that skin. And it's not the most expensive. You can get ostrich skin for around $500 easy. And, you know, a great boot for around $500. It's not like a giant gator price, and it's just nice. It's a nice boot. It looks great. You know, it's kind of iconic when you see it. You know, when you see it, you know what it is. You know, like the genuine ostrich 3 payment. So these are the Danpo Stanleys. I've only worn these a couple of times, but they're incredibly comfortable. It's like putting on a sneaker. They're very cushiony all the way around the boot. The only reason I don't wear these is because they're just a little too bulky for me. But they are very comfortable. If you like wearing like a boot cut jean, this is a good boot to go with. These are the Warhawk 10 hauls. I absolutely love these. First time I've seen a pair of 10 hauls, there was this barrel racer. She was wearing these in my hometown bar. And I looked at them, I said I had to have those. Do they make them for men? She said, yeah. So I got them, and they were going to be my backup 10 hauls to the other ones I showed you for riding. But they just look so good, I hadn't really worn them. I hadn't even pulled them out the box. But maybe one time, and that was just to get out and look good in them. So these are one of my favorite boots. I've actually bought this boot twice because with a paracoup skin, they get damaged very easily, and I'll show that to you on another pair of boots that are a darker color. They just start to peel up, but this boot costs about as much as the giant gator skin does. So if you want a boot that's going to be more durable but has that true exotic presence, just get a giant gator. But if you want a good looking boot and you don't pull it out the box that much, this is definitely the way to go. So here's that second pair I bought. You can tell the difference between the two. They're exactly the same boot, but one has more of like a giant scale to it. And that just goes to show you, whenever you're picking out a pair of boots, you want to ask them if they have it in your size in multiple sizes. You know, like when you're spending this much money on boots, just, you know, if you wear a size 9, ask for a size 9 3 times before you pick one. Because, I mean, if you're going to spend $800 on the boot, you want to make sure it's the perfect boot. All right, here's that boot in that darker color I was telling you about, and you can kind of see that it's scuffed up here. It's not too bad, but this happened very easily, and I haven't worn these that much. So I bought this boot twice as well. I'll show you here. So this is the newer pair that I bought. This is the older pair, but I bought them twice because I absolutely love them. These are two of my favorite looking boots. These and the albino colored ones. And if you want something that just looks amazing and stands out, it's definitely a way to go. But it's not something you want to put on every day because they will just get destroyed. So I totally forgot I had these. I've had these a long time. I've probably had these boots probably 7 years actually. And I haven't worn them in so long. And the reason why is because they're kind of uncomfortable. They don't have much skin going upwards, and I have kind of a taller foot with an arch in it. And so this thing just kind of hugs the top of my foot very hard, and it's kind of painful. So I took the soles out the inside. You can't even see it, but I took the soles out the inside to kind of make more room, and it's still uncomfortable. It just feels like you're walking on the floor now. So that's why I don't wear these boots anymore. Forgot I had these too. So this is an ostrich leg boot. I love this style of boot with that kind of like traditional heel and taller shaft, but it's got that that narrow square toe. Again, this boot's just going to be perfect for riding and mixing the saddle with the ground. Just comfortable to walk on a boot where you have a little bit more toe room, but you also don't have to worry about getting hung up in it. And that is an ostrich leg Dan Post boot. So these boots are absolutely gorgeous. These are a hornback cayman skin by Roughout boots in a chocolate color. And it's just a great looking boot. I've actually never worn them. And it's just because it's a square toe and you have to wear a wider jean with it. And this is kind of like a bigger square toe. It's a lot more bulky. And, you know, I have such a selection of boots that every time I pull out the Area M5s, which are a bootcut jean, I just forget I have these. Alright, so these are the Nicks. It's a zip-up Tacova boot in the relic color and a lizard skin. I absolutely love lizard skin. It's usually a traditional looking look, but this looks very modern. It looks very Nashville. I don't really wear it that much because of that simple fact, and my style is more classic. But this is a very comfortable boot, and it looks amazing whenever I do want to kind of rock the t-shirt with some chains and some Wranglers. It's a really cool look. So these, I've actually never worn these. It's a boot by Tacovas. It's a work style boot. And they're actually really cool. They just fit me a little too big. They are like a more narrow-toed work boot, but it's still a work boot. They go over your jean really easily. I think I've even worn Wranglers in these. And Wranglers, if you wear Wranglers, Cowboy cuts, they have that shorter stitch at the bottom of the jean, so they don't just go over any boot. But this kind of works perfectly with them. They're just too big for me, so I'll be giving these away. They're a size 9, but I recommend you be like a size 9.5 or a 10 to wear these. They run really big, unless you're going to wear a big sock in them. So if you're anywhere from like a 9.5 to a 10, hit me up, subscribe, like this video, comment, and you might win these boots. So these, absolutely love these. Again, that leather skin is just a classic look. These look amazing if you put them on with like a light blue Wrangler. So I wore them for a video, just kind of playing around, working with some horses and stuff, and they got dirty. So I put them in the box because I had that Roughout boot that was a Cayman, They had the same vibe, so I just started wearing that if I was wearing the black instead. But I will get these cleaned up and start wearing them again. I do love these boots. These are the Wyatts by Tecovas. It's a traditional style cowboy boot and an ostrich skin, full quill. Not as full as the other ones that I've shown you, but it's a great looking boot. When I first got it, it was a lighter color and I was wearing it more. I've got this bad habit for when I get a new boot, I'll wear it for like the first week. And this was one of those boots I just liked that I wore for that first week, but it started to get a darker look to it. It used to be a little bit lighter pecan look to it, and I liked it better then. So ever since that happened, I put them up because it was just kind of somewhere in between where I didn't want to be as far as the color went. So yeah, I haven't worn them since. Okay, so here's another ostrich skin. This one is by Dan Post. I haven't worn these in forever, man, but they're a beautiful boot. I really like them because it's like a more narrow fitting square toe boot. And you can kind of pull off any jean with them. I can pull my Wranglers off with them. And it's really cool. It's kind of got like a banana color to them to me. Dan Post is, you know, infuses their leather outsoles with their rubber in it. It's really cool. It makes for grip, but not really good for the dance floor. But this is an affordable ostrich skin, and it looks good if you're into like that square toe look. This is a Dan Post boot, and I was looking for it heavily because when I first seen it, I fell in love. It's a blue boot. You probably can't tell. It's a blue cayman skin. Just realized that the outsole of this boot is all rubber, which is not really good for any kind of riding or anything like that, but it just gives you way too much grip in the stirrups. But it is it's good for, you know, working on the ground or anything like that. But I just love this boot so much I haven't worn it. They actually only made 18 pair of these boots. And this one kind of fits me small too. So I just haven't worn it. So this is something hopefully I'll pass down one day. So this is probably one of my more expensive pair of boots that I actually had to buy. The giant gator skin on this is just absolutely beautiful. This is larger than the other boots I showed you earlier. I wear these way more than I probably should. They live up to the Lucchese name. They're comfortable. I don't have any complaints about this boot. It's that flat roper heel. It's not really that wide of a toe. I can actually pull these off with Wrangler jeans too. And so this boot kind of goes with everything. It goes with your wider boot cut jeans and your cowboy cut jeans and your straight legs. So it's really cool, man. I highly recommend this. It is expensive, but I think they still make it, which is another thing about Lucchese's. It you know, this thing is still available to you. Okay, so these are Dan Post snake skins. Same thing with snakeskin. It's a very fragile skin, but it just looks great. They're always affordable. If you want something that has that classic look, this is a great way to go. This thing looks amazing with just about any colored jean you put on. So yeah. Oh, I forgot I had these. So this is another Dan Post with that narrow square toe look, with that traditional heel. Like I said, these are just great boots for riding and just kind of getting around. They're incredibly comfortable. Highly recommend. I love the color on these. It almost gives a blue look, and it's a matte look to it. It's really cool. I don't know how they made this, but it's a great looking boot. So if I'm out there in like a muddy patch or anything, I just put on my Muck boots. These are like original Muck boots or whatever, and I really like these. It keeps the water out. They're grippy. I'm not sliding around anywhere. If it's really bad, I just roll these up, and I don't have to worry about, you know, putting jeans over them or anything like that. I just tuck my jeans in them, and it's comfortable. It's way more comfortable than trying to tuck your jeans around this. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll give these away too. If you want to win these, put a comment, like, subscribe. Maybe you'll win these. They are a size 9 as well. So, these are a pecan Tecova lizard skin. Again, I love lizard skin, especially this color. This reddish color is absolutely classic. It's a great look with like a darker blue jean, kind of like what I'm wearing now. That's another boot I would absolutely wear with this outfit. But I haven't worn them because they've got like this oil stain in them. I have to send them off and get them reconditioned and polished. And hopefully it'll bring them back to life. But absolutely beautiful boot. I would buy more, but they stopped making them in this color. All right, this is a Tecova Roughout. I stopped wearing these because once it got kind of worn in, it changed colors. It used to be a little bit more gray. Now it has more of like a natural like beaver color to it, like a tannish gray color. And it just doesn't really blend with much of the stuff that I wear that much. But it's a great looking boot. I love the light outsole on it. It's a roper heel. These boots are just incredibly comfortable. So yeah, I recommend it if you like that rough out kind of natural colored look. So this is another one of those stories where I absolutely love a boot. This was kind of like my dress boot. And then I get out in the pasture and I get it dirty and I just put it in the box because I don't feel like cleaning it. Pure laziness on my part, but I have so many boots that I don't really have to worry about, you know, that too much. This is actually a Justin ostrich skin. They're kind of known for having this really thin stack of leather on the outsole and they wear out pretty easy. But when you have a skin like this, you can resole the outsole and, you know, it'll last you a lot longer. And keeping these skins conditioned is important, but when you have something like this, it's worth keeping. But there you go. Thank you guys for checking out this video and looking at my entire boot collection. I hope I answered some of your questions. Please like and subscribe. That way I can continue to post fashion videos and stuff for you guys. Western fashion, cowboy fashion, whatever you want to call it. I just love doing it. I love helping people learn about it. And I will be posting more kind of cowboy videos showing you guys my entire lifestyle on this page. So please like and subscribe. Hopefully I'll be giving more giveaways as well. Like I said, if you want to win some of those boots, drop the comment and hopefully I can get it out to you.